joined today by Jeremy Schritt, aka Pick'em Genius. We talk some League of Legends fantasy today for the LPL. Jeremy, how you doing?
I'm great. The LCS just started on ESPN2, so I've got that kind of in the background going. Last night was fine, so let's hope today's even better.
Right on, man. Yeah. So just to update everyone where we're at in the bracket, Cloud9 they kind of rolled over Evil Geniuses 3-1. So they face the winner of the losers bracket now. Is that what's going on?
So this is it's TSM and FlyQuest, and then whoever wins this faces EG, and then whoever wins that series faces C9 in the finals.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So do you
To
think
to lose,
does
yeah,
anyone have a
no,
shot to take down Cloud9?
I would be very surprised.
All right, so this will be interesting. And then, what are the stakes for the spring split? I know they have like a summer split that starts like pretty soon after the spring split ends. So, why do they have two different splits, and what does it all lead up to?
So in a normal year, there would be like a big mini worlds where the best teams that all won the spring split go and face each other in somewhere in the world. So yeah, it's basically if you win that, you get to face better competition and kind of like prep for worlds. This year, we're not sure if that's going to happen, so it might kind of just be a for fun split. Uh, yeah.
Okay, so it's really the summer split that has the big stakes this year, then.
Yeah, yeah, and the summer split typically is more important, but this year it's the most important.
That's awesome because I know I was looking up esports and how many viewers there are, and the Worlds for LOL is the biggest event in in esports. So I'm really excited to see my first one. I've been slacking, but so let's talk about where we are in the LPL league because that's the one we're playing tonight, the China League. China has won the last couple Worlds, so some of the strongest teams and there's been some thought on whether the teams are trying as hard now because some of the seeding is already determined. So what's the breakdown like right now?
Tonight's interesting, but generally speaking, everyone in the LPL should want to be top two because if you get top two in the LPL, you're seeded to the semifinals. So you just play fewer games. You have like a way easier chance to win. Winning's still pretty good. You still make more money if you win. That's nice. So like everyone should want to make playoffs and perform as well as they can to get as high of a seed as they can.
So I'm guessing Victory Five is out of the playoff race because
Yeah.
have they even won like one single game, much less a match this season?
No, yeah, they did. They did. And it was in the first article I did on the site, I was like, if V5 are going to win a game, it's going to be against LNG. And I wrote that in the article, and that's the only time they've won this whole season.
That's awesome. Well, we have both LNG and Victory Five playing tonight, so
Yes, we do.
yeah, the outcome of two of these three matches is pretty easy to predict because the Royal never give up. They're playing LNG. They're minus 400 favorites, 80% to win. And then top esports is 95% to win against Victory 5. So really the most exciting like game as far as outcome today is OMG versus E-Star. Uh, E-Star's favored 2-1. But let's talk about Royal Never Give Up real quick because I'm sure anyone playing DFS these past few slates, they've just been like really dropping the ball. So what's going on with Royal Never Give Up?
I don't know. It's super weird because ever since Rogue Warriors had that incident, they've been playing better, uh, which is they shouldn't be beating Royal Never Give Up, but like they did, and they kind of smoked them in games 2 and 3. Uh, I don't know. It's hard to really say what's exactly wrong, but I don't think they're playing. I don't think they're bad. It's just like form. They're just a little slump. They should definitely break out of that tonight.
Okay, so no thought that they're intentionally losing games because I know one of our fellow LOL analysts, Brick 75, he's been a little concerned about maybe some Vegas line movement, and whether that indicates that the fix is in. All right,
Uh,
so let's talk about some league news here. I noticed a couple of new names on the rosters today. So if you're going off who started the last game, make sure to look up the current starting lineups. You can find them all over Twitter. So make sure to follow Jeremy and me, Jeremy Pick'em Genius, and I'm also on DFS. But starting off, LNG, pretty big underdogs today, but they have this new top laner, Chen Lon 17. He's not on the DraftKings player pool, but
yes,
he is. Oh, he is?
yeah,
Okay, so they must have added him in there because he
yeah.
wasn't earlier today. So that actually that changes things up a little bit. And on FanDuel, he's listed as Chenlon 1, so make sure to find him in there. But so, what's the deal with this guy? I've never heard of him before.
Yeah, no, you and me both. I was just he played for LNG's academy team, and I have no idea where to watch those games. But I was just looking at some of the match history from his academy performances last summer split, and nothing super jumps off the page. I'm looking. I don't know how many games this. I think it's 50, and in zero of the games he has more than 10 assists. So that's kind of scary. Uh, and I think he had like one game where he had more than 10 kills. So nothing super exciting just from looking at the statistics in the Academy League.
So really not the kind of the fantasy guy that you might necessarily be looking for, but uh, based on my pace numbers, like all three of these games tonight, whoever wins them has pretty much an equal shot of being the top stack of the night. So it's a little bit more fun. There aren't any dud games here. LNG, of course, only 20% to win it. So my projection for LNG players pretty low, but when they do win, they could have some big performances. So how are you feeling about LNG and their chances tonight?
I'm gonna caveat by saying that LNG is my favorite team and Flandre is my favorite player, and I'm really sad he is not playing. But I I usually like playing more LNG than everybody else does, but not tonight. RNG does need to win. They're hanging on to a playoff spot, and RNG's lost a few series in a row. So, like their game one win against Rogue Warriors, they did put up 21 kills. So it's very possible they just get 20 plus kills 2 times in a row against LNG and just wipe the floor with them. I feel pretty comfortable in that happening.
Yeah, so I think the public's going to be kind of put off by RNG's recent performances. Anyone going off the box scores probably won't be loving them. But LNG also not a great team as far as recent performances. So I think that if you're going off the box scores, you might just not play this game altogether. And we know in League of Legends, there has to be a winner of at least 2 games in this series. So I think that Royal Never Give Up's probably interesting because they have been struggling so much. Um, so Royal Never Give Up, of course, their ADC Betty. I've been picking him every single time, and he just never gets there. Same lineup as usual for them, but so are you gonna stack up RNG a lot tonight?
Yeah, it's tricky because you want all of the three favorites a lot because they should all win. But a lot of it's going to be how the players are priced. And Betty's the second most expensive 80 carry on DraftKings, and also I believe FanDuel. No, he's the third most expensive one on FanDuel. So I think it's Betty's more of a FanDuel play overall, but like I will have enough of him on DraftKings as well.
Okay, so a little bit expensive to get in there on DraftKings.
Especially since Jackie loves playing, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, so Jackie Love. Actually, let's go over to Top Esports now because Dustin in the chat said, "Is Jackie Love any good?" And then Shiv Vig said, "Yes."
Yes.
So what's Jackie Love's story? Like, what's his